Welcome to Flights of Fancy Storytime. I'm Ann from the National Air and Space Museum, and I'm here to bring some of our museum stories to you at home. Zoom! Today I'm thinking about fast-flying airplanes. Do you like to go fast? It's fun to feel the wind on your face and go fast on a bike or a scooter or just run. Some of the fastest airplanes in the world are in our collection at the National Air and Space Museum. Have you ever seen the flash of lightning and then heard a loud thunderclap a few seconds later? That delay is because light and sound travel at different speeds. The first airplane to travel as fast as sound was the Bell X-1. This bright orange airplane is now in our museum. The X in the name means experimental, and they were experimenting to see how the shape of the plane and the type of engine could make the plane go really fast. What does the shape look like to you? Of course, they needed a very brave and experienced pilot to fly in the experiment. Chuck Yeager was a test pilot who flew in these experiments. Do you think you would want to be a test pilot? After that, people kept experimenting to make even faster airplanes. Other fast airplanes in our collection include a Navy Blue Angel F-18. The blue and yellow jets are easy to recognize. Today, the fastest jet airplane is the SR-71. This airplane really looks fast. The long, sleek shape helps it to move through the air. It's pretty cool to be able to come to the museum and see these amazing machines right up close. If you go to an air show, you may be able to see and hear them fly. Here's a story about that. Once upon a time, there were 3 friends. They were Millie, Ruth, and Lou. One day, the 3 friends were on their scooters racing down the hill. When they got to the bottom of the hill, they sat under the big tree for a moment to catch their breath. After a bit, Ruth said, "Did I tell you about last weekend when I went to the air show at the local airport?" "No, tell us," said Lou. "Did you see aerobatic pilots doing loops and rolls?" And she turned a cartwheel. "Yes," said Ruth, "and there was cool music too. But what I was really surprised to see were fast Air Force and Navy jet fighter planes. They were so fast and loud when they flew over our heads, and they really did an amazing trick." Millie said, "What did they do?" "Well," said Ruth, 2 planes went speeding right at each other. I thought they were going to crash, but they flew right past each other and then turned around." "Let's try it," said Millie. The 3 friends ran out to the field with their arms outstretched like wings. Then they ran away from each other and then ran as fast as they could straight towards each other, just missing a crash at the last minute. Then they fell on the ground laughing. "That was fun," said Lou. "I wish I could fly a real fast jet," said Ruth. "Someday," said Lou. "See you tomorrow at our tea party," called Millie, and then the friends got back on their scooters and rode up the hill toward home. The next day, at their tea party, Millie said, "I was thinking about something we could fly. What about kites?" "Oh, hey, that sounds like fun," said Lou. "Maybe we could make our own kites," said Ruth. The 3 friends gathered all the stuff they needed to make kites. They had some paper, plastic bags, bamboo skewers, popsicle sticks, tape, glue, fabric pieces, magic markers, and dot markers. Lou grabbed a black plastic bag and scissors. "I'm going to make mine black like the SR-71 Blackbird. That's the fastest jet there is." She cut a fat diamond shape out of the plastic and began taping a bamboo skewer to it. Millie said, "I'm going to decorate mine with stars like the Air Force symbol." She took a piece of paper and drew a big blue circle on it and then drew a star in the middle of the circle. Ruth said, "I'm going to make a blue and yellow kite like the Blue Angels that I saw at the air show." She took a piece of yellow paper and folded it like a big paper airplane. Then she used a blue dot marker to color it. While the friends were working, making tails for their kites out of fabric and plastic bags, Mo came by. "I found this string in the garage. Can you use it?" "Thanks, Mo," said Millie. "This is just what we need. I'll make one kite for you and you can decorate it." Mo sat down and started coloring his red. "Red is my favorite color," said Mo. When the kites were finished, the friends took them to the big open space at the top of the hill where there were no tall trees or wires in the way. They took turns helping each other get their kites up in the air, running and flinging the kites into the sky. Then they let the strings out as far as they could go. The kites dipped and swayed in the wind. "Awesome," they all said, and they gave each other a high five. It's craft time. Today we're going to make kites. This is a fun kite that you can take right outside and fly. All you need for this craft is a piece of white paper. You're going to need some yarn or string, your scissors, and tape, and you're going to use something like crayons or markers to decorate it. And there's one more thing that you need, and that's a plastic grocery bag. We're going to use that to make tails for our kite. So the first thing we're going to do is take your piece of paper and hold it long ways like this. And then we're going to fold it right in half. Now you can open that up again and draw a black line down that crease so you can see it really well, or a dark line. I did that, and then I drew the next two lines in kind of a triangle shape, so it's more narrow at the top and wider at the bottom, and those are going to be all the places that we fold. So when we fold it in half, we're then going to fold it again along those lines. There it is, and that makes our kite shape. Now we have on this side, that fold makes a kind of long straight line at the back, and that gives it some stability. But we also need to put a stick across this way to give it more stability. So we're going to use our popsicle stick for that, and we're just going to tape it on there about a little bit more towards the top, halfway up, a little bit further than halfway up. And I'm just going to take two pieces of tape, put them right on the end of the popsicle stick, and tape that on. That's it. Now we're going to add a string right here, and you can just tuck the string underneath the stick and then tie it on. I have one already finished over here. So it looks like this. Now I took a long piece of string, as long as I could, so that I could let my kite fly really high, and then I twined the rest of the end of the string around another stick so that can be a handle that you can hold on to. The last thing that you need for your kite is a tail, and I'll show you how you're going to make the tail. Now you're going to use your plastic grocery bag and just cut off the bottom of the bag. And then you throw that part away, but then you can cut strips along the bottom of your grocery bag, and that makes a long loop. And then if you cut that loop, that makes a long strip. And if you have a colorful grocery bag, then you can get some color on your tail. Now you're going to go ahead, and you can make as many tails as you want. You can have 1 or 2 or 3 tails for your kite. And I'm just going to put one on this one. Well, actually I have another kite that I already decorated. So over here I have a kite I decorated on this side with a rainbow, and this side I decorated with swirls. So it would be nice and bright. I think I'm going to put my swirl side out and my rainbow side facing me. And I'll just add the tail to the kite with a piece of tape. You can make a lot of these kites and have all different designs on them so that you're ready to go fly your kite. And that's it. Have a great time. Enjoy flying your kites, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.